Hi, do you want to make your own avatar? Well, today I'm going to teach you how you can make your own avatar using Vroid. So let's open up Vroid. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on create new. You can also check out all these other sample avatars if you want, and you can fiddle around with them. We're going to create one right now. Start by selecting your gender. It's going to take a little bit to load. If you ever played an MMO or anything like that, or anything with a character creator, then you're going to feel right at home when it comes to Vroid. The beauty of Vroid is, if you can look at side here, we have all these presets, and essentially we can use these presets. We can also edit them with custom textures. So let's get into it. Now, Vroid had a little bit of an update recently, so they have so much more presets and sets than they used to. They used to be way less than this. This is actually really cool to see. They have so many nice ones. So you can go ahead and see that we have our parameters on the right side, and you can go ahead and play with them if you want. They're pretty basic. You can go ahead and play with them. And on the left side, we have all our presets. You click on either face sets or eye sets. Where I'm going to begin, and I'm just going to pick one that I think looks nice, like this one. This one, really nice. So don't be afraid to choose yourself which one you want to start with. There's many to choose between, and just playing with the settings, make it your kind of unique avatar. The next thing, when you have a general gist of how you want your eyes to look, you can also click on irises, and we can do stuff like change our eye color. I want my character to have blue eyes. I can also change the iris size. They can look a little bit crazy, like Kizuna almost there. I'm not saying she looks crazy, but her eyes sometimes goes crazy. So when your character is perfect like this, I'm just kidding, you can really make your character unique by just tweaking the settings and really no drawing needed. But the big thing about Vroid, I think, is you can create a character in no time. And for instance, click here, edit texture. We can go in here and we can change it to our own needs. So I'm going to click the little bit of a plus sign there, and I'm going to start to put a bright color. As you can see, it only paints on one side. What we can do is we can do Control C, and we can do mirror. There we go. It does it on both sides at the same time, simultaneously. We also have some brushes we can choose between. Now this one is textured, this is soft brush, and this is angled brush. You can also play with the opacity, and pressure, and also drawing mode. Don't worry too much about this one, just keep it as is. We also have an eye picker tool. You can select the color, or use Alt. And we also have our tools here. We have select, brush, eraser, bucket, and blur. If we want to blur the edges, we can select the blur tool. Do this. It looks pretty good. As you can see, we can edit all these different textures as we want them. It doesn't have to be the way it is now. Let's say you want it to be like that instead. You can do that. I think that looks nice as it is, so I'm just gonna keep. You can also draw your eyebrows, your eyeliner, eyelashes, etc. Once I'm happy with that, I'm gonna click save as a new item. That way I also keep the original. And then you're gonna find your custom texture here under the custom tab. Alright, so one of the cool things we can keep doing, we can keep changing the parameters as we want. And once you have a face that you think is cute, you can then go ahead and add some hair. But one of the cool things is we can now add some hair, and it's super easy to do. Let's say I start with this one. I can do the front, or I can do a whole hair set like this. Cute. Make it red. Just kidding. So there's a lot of cool sets we can choose from. You can also go to Booth and you can download certain assets from there, which you can import. And the way we do that is basically you go onto Booth. You find a hairstyle that you like. Let's say this one, or this one was really cute. Some of them are paid, some of them are free. Let's say we do this one that is free. What we can do is we can click download. And under custom, we can click import. We also need to extract it. Now, once we have that extracted, I'm going to click on one of these. I'm not sure what they mean. It's Chinese, but you can click where now. And there you have it. We also have, I'm not sure if this is the back part or what, but it'll fix it for you. And there we have it. So now we downloaded something from Booth. We can also make adjustments if we want to this hairstyle. I will not go through this in this tutorial, but there are some ways to do this. So you can go into these hair types, and we can move this mesh net to get our desired result. Also select individual pieces. We can change the position, etc. VRChat has a lot of tools to edit it to your preference, so don't worry if it's not exactly as you want it. You can spend hours and hours doing this. So for instance, you can see that this part is clipping. What you can do is you can go into select mode, and you can make this cage a little bit bigger. We can also change the hair color if, let's say, we want it to be a little bit like that. So once you have your hairstyle, you can also go through stuff like their height and their body size, head size. I'm going to make more of a chibi. There's a lot of settings you can. Next thing is outfits. There is a few outfits you can choose from, but again, you can also go to Booth if you want to find some other ones. Luckily, they have added a few ones lately. There's many to choose from, but don't worry if you don't find one that you don't particularly like. You can actually make your own custom one. So let's say we want to make top. We can make a custom one. Click create new. And here you can see there's loads of different presets you can choose from. Let's say we do this one. This one is really cute. You can also edit the texture if you click there. Let's say we want to add a color to this outfit. We can do that. You wouldn't normally always do this through the outfit, but you can if you want to. I'm going to save it as a new item. One cool thing is you can tweak the parameters of the outfit itself. Not all of them have the same amount of editing capability. Just be aware of that. But this one, for instance, if you want the skirt to be longer, you can do that. There's also shoes, socks, etc., accessories. And there's a lot to play with. I see now that there's a new update, so you can actually add a tail now. You cannot do that before. Before you had to use hair actually to make it. That is pretty cool. So if you want to give them a cat tail, you can do that. Look like a lion tail. There you go. You can add some cat ears if you want. That is super cute. There's also things like glasses which you can add, and again, there's so many parameters you can play around with. Now, once you have played around with your character and you're happy with it, you can always spend many hours doing this, and you can do your custom textures and all that. Maybe put it into your own drawing program, etc. One thing I also want to mention, there's a look tab. Essentially what this is how your character will look, actually permanently. You can change a little bit of placement and stuff like that. Also remember that you can change the parameters through this most of the time inside VRChat. You can also go beyond the parameters. You know, it says 30 there. I can actually put it to 60. So just be careful. There's also some other settings you can go through here, like the rim light, body, stuff like that. I don't have it enabled right now, so I guess it's not showing. But yeah, for instance, here you can check the shading is working. You can have like a soft shaded version. You can see some games have like Dragon Quest, for instance. If you want more harsh line, maybe like there's many examples. I'm not gonna mention all of them, but there's many ways you can make your character look unique. And don't be afraid to play around with all these settings. And once you're happy, you can take a picture, or you can actually export it. If you want to export it for VRChat or for maybe you want to stream, then be sure to check out one of my videos. The end of this video will help you go through exactly that. Yeah, here you can post your character as you wish, and you can take pictures. I'm lagging a little bit because I have way too many programs up right now. But yeah, you can take a picture and be sure to just do one setting like this. Anti-aliasing is gonna make a huge difference. Also bloom sometimes too. In the prior tab, you can also add line art to your character. So go ahead and check out those settings if you want to. Also, be sure to save your character so you don't lose everything you worked on once you are happy. And you export as a VRM, you simply have to click here. If you want to know how you can actually get your character into VRChat, you can check out this video. If you don't know, it will show up in a little bit. Or you can check out this other video where I show you how you can set it up for streaming. But that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I see you in the next one.